Hey. I'm a movement by myself. What? But I'm a force when we're together. Baby, I'm good all by myself. Ow.
Baby girl, you make me better.
That's right, I make her better. I make her better.
Every now and then. What's up, Crystal? Hey. 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 All right.
Hello, everybody. It seems like it's been forever, but it's actually only been a month. So, hey, everybody.
What's
hey,
going
Latifah.
on? Hey, Tifa.
Hey, Blue.
What's
hey,
up, Crystal?
So, thank you guys for tuning into our episode 8. This is a special episode.
Oh, 8 is our number.
8 is our number.
Yeah.
It's a thing between us. It is a very special number for us.
Marquise, what's going on?
This is episode 8, and we didn't have a title for it yet because it's a lot that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we'll give it a title later.
But we wanted to come to you guys because, of course, today was the solar eclipse.
Woo! I hope you guys had a chance to watch it. We did. It was an amazing experience together. Wow. We had a moment.
We really did have a moment. Folks took off work and whatnot to sit at the house on the balcony so we could watch it with our glasses together.
And I don't want to deal with that traffic. For those not in the area, I'm sorry. Columbia, all right, for one thing, South Carolinians, take it how you want to, don't know how to drive. And then to add on this traffic, I didn't want to be downtown at USC trying to get back home or whatever.
Well, let me tell you, I've only been in South Carolina now. How long? Like 6 weeks, 7 weeks?
No, you've been here for 3 weeks this time.
Yeah, but I was here 3 weeks before.
Yeah.
Y'all folks are slow as molasses for everything. See, look, I'm saying. Y'all switching up my language. Woo! Let me remember, I'm from Brooklyn, so I need to keep my Brooklyn accent with me always. But anyway, the eclipse was awesome. We had our glasses on, and if you looked on my Majesty page, you were able to see I was able to go live. It actually went completely black. You can see that it was completely dark. The street lights came on.
Yes,
and
it got quiet.
And it was quiet.
Got still. Like there was people out talking to it and just went silent. And I was like, whoa.
And it was such an experience. I've never experienced a solar eclipse before. So for me, it was a first.
It was the first for me.
It was the first. You said you did it before.
No, it was a solar eclipse. It was some type of other eclipse. I don't know what it was. But I remember when we made these little boxes that we had to look through. I don't know what it was. I remember being little and making a box. I don't know for what.
Well, baby made a box for something, and all I remember, this is the first time I've ever seen a solar eclipse. So this was something that was so impactful. Please disregard the squeaking. That is our lovely dog Bella, who is playing with her toy right now.
Hey Vivian, what's going on, sis? But it was good. One of the things that I'm gonna jump right into this since we talk about solar eclipse.
Okay.
Was just in that moment, like, before I was like, oh, solar eclipse, this is cool, but it wasn't until that moment that I really was like, wow, this is really like reminiscent of the creation story. I don't know if anybody's ever read the creation story in the Bible and how God created something out of nothingness and how out of that void he spoke things into existence. And in that moment when it had just been sunlight, 30 seconds before, and then for it to be darkness, it just was, I don't know, it just
did something for us. I mean, if you go back on my Majesty page,
from Iraq. Somebody goes from Iraq.
Hey, from Iraq.
Yes.
If you go back to my Majesty page, you will see where I become a minister for like 2.5 seconds. I give a little bit of testimony and how that like touched my life. I almost got misty-eyed for a minute there.
I was like, well, all right.
Because it was just something so... You hear about what a solar eclipse is, but for you to see it and experience and see that this is a splendor in this world, shout outs to all the splendors. It was just a lot. And it was just like, I'm actually witnessing this, and God allowed for all the clouds to move out the way.
He did, because right before the eclipse happened, there was a huge dark cloud. We were like, oh, we're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
We were like, oh Lord, please don't let us miss this experience. And
he broke right through that huge cloud and allowed us to see it. He was like, I'm going to show out. Y'all thought y'all wasn't going to get the eclipse? I'm going to show out.
Right.
And he did show out, and it was, I will never forget this experience. Yeah. It was awesome. My baby, if you look at the live that I did, you see her yelling at me, put your glasses on. And I'm like, okay, but it was, I will say, it wasn't as bright once the moon got in front of the sun. So you can see the yellow rim around. Right. Honey, I was stuck. I was like, oh, this is all too good for me to be looking at. Like,
but it was cool. It was a humbling experience, and like in that moment, I felt how small I was in the grand scheme of
everything.
Everything. That was just, it was just awesome. It was awing. It was awesome. It was amazing. So, welcome for those that are joining on. This is episode 8 of She Says, She Says. So we talked a little bit about the eclipse and just having that experience and just sharing what we kind of felt and went through during that moment. We did post a live during that time as we talked about that experience while we were out there outside and just with other people out there. It was really, 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 really amazing.
It really was amazing. And if you did not get a chance to view it, I think the next one is in the next 7 years, and you'll see it in Texas.
In 2024, I think it was 2024, 2022. Yeah. But Texas will probably have the best view. We're going to Dallas.
We're going to Texas because I want to see this again.
Yeah.
Like, I need to experience that whole thing.
The kids will be older by that time.
Kids because I'll be, we'll be 16 and
our other little ones will be old enough to anyway, that's another
story.
Anyway.
Anywho, can we shout out
which one do?
Can we shout out the baby?
Oh, shout outs to a newborn in our community. Morgan, shout out our little solar baby from Colombia. Yes. Congratulations to Gil and Sharita. The baby's looking good. He's a big boy too, but congratulations to you all. He's a solar eclipse baby.
He's a solar eclipse baby, so that is good. His day will be special. His birth was special because he was born on the solar eclipse. So shout outs to you guys. I can't wait to just pinch on the little cheeks because babies smell good and the fever is coming. Anywho,
we'll see y'all later. Right.
Yes. So so the first thing, we wanted to talk about the solar eclipse, but then we wanted to talk about Charlottesville and a lot of things surrounding Charlottesville. I know that you guys have been watching the news lately and have been, hey Tatiana, and have had your feelings about what's been happening, especially with our president not denouncing the white supremacists
and alt-right straight out.
And the alt-right straight out. And we wanted to talk about us as minorities. And I say minorities meaning anything that is not white. Hey. So we wanted to talk about why do we support folks who do not support us? Either military, companies, churches, families, everything under the sun.
Politicians, whatever it is.
Politicians, anything.
Within the LGBT community, why do we continue to support, and minorities as well, why do we continue to support those that don't support us, that don't stand for us, that don't defend us, that don't protect our rights, or actually try to add to our rights so that we can have, the great benefits of life in America and all those good things. The main thing that was like, I don't know if it's the fact that I'm not concerned, but I'm just like, what do y'all expect? Do y'all expect anything less from 45? Because he's not my president.
He ain't my president either. That's the Cheeto for me.
For me, it just represents all the things that he ran on, all the things he said he would do to begin with.
Yeah.
He's not deviating from his plan. He's not deviating from the person that he represented himself to be. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. And he told y'all flat out, but if I go down, Manhattan and shoot somebody in the face, he still will have support, and it's the truth. People are like low key separating themselves, but as far as I'm concerned, they're not separating themselves hard enough. The only people that I saw that really was like, look, we don't support racism of any kind were the generals that tweeted. The tweet from the branches of the
the branches of the military, all the generals and commanders, Air Force, Marines, Navy, even the National Guard,
Air Force,
all all of them
Yeah.
came out and denounced the white supremacists, denounced racism, homophobia, transphobia. They did everything in a tweet. And
Right.
it was funny because it was shady. Shout outs to y'all for the shade. Because
We love that.
because that's exactly the form of communication Trump uses to kind of pick at people.
Right.
So it was quite hilarious to see these generals from these branches who never tweet anything political from their pages now tweet this in regards to what happened in Collegeville, in regards to the trans issue where our president, or y'all's president, said that that trans people would have no part in the military. It was such a good thing to see that happen. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I did like, even though what happened in Charlottesville was tragic, the one thing that I did actually like seeing was how many of my pink people were actually out in support of the minorities,
right?
Which was something that we have not seen in a very long time. And I think that yes, what happened on that day was tragic. It was very tragic, and I'm so sorry for the woman who lost her life. But one thing I want us to look at too is, no, it does not seem like we've come a long way with this racism being just outright in our face. But look at all the people who actually then turned around and supported us as minorities in that moment. There were so many different ethnicities, white, Indian, Asian, so many different people that came out to counter protest these alt-right people, white supremacists, skinheads, and KKK members, that the woman who actually passed away, that was killed, was actually white. Again, not to take away from anything, because this is an issue for minorities. The Robert E. Lee statue that needed to come down, I don't know if anyone took the time to actually read who this man was, but he was bad. And if you took the time to actually do your research, I don't understand why a statue for this man was even mounted anyway.
Well, the reason why it was mounted, you have to look for the time period that it was put up. Mm-hmm. It was put up as a constant reminder of pretty much what was during that time.
True.
And it was there to instill, again, fear and continue to perpetuate that thought process of segregation, racism, and slavery. That's really all it's for.
Yes.
You know, and the thing that, now this is the one thing that did piss me off, was when Trump said, you know, it's Robert E. Lee today, what George Washington tomorrow.
George Washington and Thomas Jefferson
and I was like, they had slaves too. And I'm like, really?
Okay. Not to defend 45. However, they did have slaves. However, let's be clear. Yes, they did have slaves.
You want time, Beatrice?
Huh?
No, you keep talking.
Okay, let's be clear. Yes, these are presidents that had slaves, but they are no different than him. Now, let's be honest. The American history is nothing clean. It is as filthy and dirty as it most possibly can be. Let's be clear. This country was built on the backs of slaves, and that is one thing that white people do not want to acknowledge. That is something
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but a lot of them do not want. That's the one piece of history that everybody just wants to turn the blind away. Like, oh no, it didn't happen, but it did. And y'all celebrate it secretly. And now because people want to take down these statues, everyone is up in arms. Oh, but this is our history. Okay, so now if you want to preserve your history, then let's also discuss the history of all the slaves that you killed, raped, and murdered. Let's talk about the history of how you brought all these people from Africa on ships to this country. Those are the things that nobody wants to talk about. That's the history that everybody wants to forget.
Yeah, if you want to put up monuments, then let's put up monuments of the Native Americans that were here before you were, that you killed off, or that you gave diseases to, or that you stole their land. If you were going to preserve history, let's preserve all of our history, and you can't just select the few that you want to select. You need to preserve it all.
Let's give a fat shout out to the mayor of Charlottesville.
Oh yeah.
Who came out there and he told them, go home. You white supremacists.
His speech was presidential.
Yes.
His speech was what Donald Trump should have said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not only did he say it, but he said one key thing in particular. He said, we are all immigrants in this country. If you are not a Native American, then you cannot talk about your land, my soil, this, that, and the other, because this country belongs to the Native American. And I'm sorry, when have you ever seen two Native Americans together in one place? It's rare that you see them. Why? Because
you can see them on a reservation.
On a reservation.
That's about it.
But let's be honest, there aren't very many Native Americans left because you pink people have killed them all. With your smallpox and your Thanksgiving feast that you killed them every day with for those of you who do not know the history of Thanksgiving, you might want to take a moment and do some research and realize why Thanksgiving is really a holiday. It's a holiday for a massacre. So for those of you who don't know, you might want to take a moment and do that research because Thanksgiving ain't what you thought it was.
No, not at all.
However, the mayor of Charlottesville, the governor, shout outs to you because you said it and you were eloquent in your words. And
he meant it.
And he meant it.
He wasn't saying it just to say it because it sounded good. He wasn't saying it because his people told him, this is a good thing for you to say. Like the 45 had to come back days later and was like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. He read that speech was, oh my God. And
he said it so good. Now, did we really think that Donald Trump was going to come out and say anything of substance?
But look what he did. He folded it up and still went on a rant.
And listen, let me explain something to you. Donald Trump has diarrhea of the mouth. And that is the problem.
No, that's not diarrhea of the mouth. That's actually how he feels. And he feels justified in saying it and doing it because he's been doing it so long without any consequences to his actions or the things that he says. He's the president.
Well, I agree.
And he's the same person that said, I grabbed him by the you know what.
He said, I grabbed him by the pussy. That's what that man said. That's what he called it.
I know, baby. That's what he called it.
But going back to what it is that we wanted to talk about, support. Now, there were a lot of people who immediately jumped on social media, immediately jumped on everything and denounced it, denounced the KKK, denounced white supremacy, denounced the alt-right, denounced everything under the sun.
And was clear.
And were clear, crystal clear.
Not people were wrong on both sides.
No. They were clear. Then when Donald Trump came with his foolery, you started to defend them. And not only did you defend it, but the head of the KKK then came out and said, thank you. You did just right. Our president, we're doing what he said he was going to do on the campaign trail.
We're taking America back.
Really?
Yeah.
You taking it back? Let me tell you, I've seen a lot of memes that came up when people was like, I wish they would have done that crap in Brownsville, New York. Right. Come to Brooklyn with that. Let me see how many of you white folks would have made it out of Brownsville on that one.
Right, and you see what happened in Boston.
How many of y'all would have made it out of Brooklyn? There was another meme that said, I wish they would bring that to Detroit. I wish you would bring it to Detroit. Let me see how many of you KKK members going to make it out of Detroit alive, boo. Not very many of you. Not very many of you. See, you knew exactly where to go and where to do that at. Now, I have a question, and baby, it was actually you who brought it up. They went on to the University of Virginia.
Yeah.
How in God's green earth did the police let that happen?
Howard. They wouldn't have went through Morehouse.
They wouldn't have went through They wouldn't have went through Benedict through that. Baby, no. Columbia would have been turned off. Honey, bring that down here to Benedict. Let me see you try.
HBCU. That would not have gone.
Bring that down to Bethune-Cookman.
Right.
And we know
shout out to our HBCUs.
I know that they let Betsy DeVoe.
You know.
I know they let Betsy DeVoe in for the graduation, but let me see if they would have let y'all come on. You wouldn't have been able to step your foot off the street to get on the curb to the school before somebody would have knocked you out, clear out with the same torches you were carrying. Right. But that scene. Someone on Facebook actually took the picture and made it black and white and paired it with another photo from 1965. The same way. And that, to me, spoke volumes because in that moment, that lets you know that not much has actually changed.
But time.
And I made the comment on my page that everyone is in their feelings with Donald Trump, but he actually made it okay for the KKK to actually take the cloth off their heads off. Because now they're doing it with a bold, they out there showing their face.
It's a good thing because I really do feel that as a society and as a people, as a political party, a movement, or whatever, we were starting to become complacent. You know, the fact that Obama got in, that's all fine and good, but I think we didn't realize that there's still not equality.
No.
You know, on all counts, whether it's race, gender, pay, you know, no matter what it is, equality and injustice is still something that is firmly rooted in the fabric of our country. And it took him being in office, it took him saying all the things he said to bring this issue to the forefront so we can finally call a spade a spade. The elephant has been sitting in the room forever. But we've been so complacent because we've been able to have a couple of things. You know, we can now see ourselves on television and in magazines. We can see ourselves becoming doctors and lawyers. We can see ourselves sitting at the table.
Yes.
We'll sit there at the table, but are we really part of the meal?
Yes.
Are we really planning the menu? That's my thing. Is don't bring me to the table if I'm not part of the menu, creating the menu. And that's the thing that we've forgotten. That's the thing that we
got comfortable. But we said that in our last podcast. It's funny because we talked about this in our last podcast where we talked about the
shout out to Cardinal.
Hi, Cardinal. We talked about this in our last podcast where we talked about the politics and the things that Donald Trump was doing. I think that what we forgot was that when Obama was in office for 8 years, we thought that Jim Crow went away, the civil rights movement went away, and all these things. But we forgot that Black Lives Matter started while President Obama was in office. And they were still killing our black boys in the street and women. Because let me tell you, I got pulled over in Colombia. Oh, Lord. Let me tell you, I got pulled over in Colombia, and I am afraid to be the next Sandra Bland. Yes, I am as bright as a sugar cookie, like my boo thing like to call me. But let me tell you, I put my hands on the steering wheel, and the cop came up. He was like, driver's license. I was like, well, look, I have to go into my bag to go pull my driver's license out. It is in a red wallet. I said, so I have to reach on the floor to go in my bag and he was just like, he just looked at me and just like, really? He was like, you know what, ma'am? You have a good day. He went back into his vehicle and let me go. And I made sure that I didn't even move until I saw him move. Because you wasn't going to say I tried to run away.
Please, right.
Honey, I waited. I sat right there and he looked at me like, oh God. But that is the society in which we live in. And you can't be upset with me. I know that he must have went home and told his wife, let me tell you, I pulled this woman over and she just went, let me tell you, no. And I couldn't even grab my phone fast enough to begin recording because, honey, I'd have called somebody, did a glide, a Facebook Live, something, so somebody could document this man pulling me over. And it's sad that this is the climate in which we live in, but it's the absolute truth. So,
it's not all policemen. I don't want to say that because I do know some wonderful officers. Shout out to y'all. I talked to a couple of y'all a couple days ago. Whatever, made some jokes. It is not every police officer. It's not every white officer. It's not like that. It's just the climate that we're in that you don't know who is who.
Exactly, and you have to protect yourself. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, listen, Philando said, I have to give you my license, and I have a pistol on me, but I have a license to carry. He went to reach to get his license and was shot in the car. So he told you what he was going to do, and you still shot him anyway.
No, you asked him to do it, and he complied. And you're absolutely right, Carl. One of the things I do if I ever get pulled over, whenever I do, by the time they come to my car, I already have my license and registration out the window with both my hands. So I ain't got to reach for nothing. You ain't got to look in here for nothing. Everything you need is right there at the window when you come up.
Baby, I put my hands up and I'm like, listen, I have to go into my purse to seek this out. So please, it's in a red wallet. I have to go into the purse to get it. It's on the floor.
With kids in the car. You know, I can't even talk about that story. That thing still bothers me.
Again, these are things that I think that our country has kind of forgot a little bit. And now it's punching us in the gut. And this is where we need to actually start paying attention to what's going on in society so that we can be very well aware of everything. Now, when this isn't just with race, this is also with things going on in the LGBT community. Since Trump has been in office, Okay, he has attacked the LGBT community in so many different ways that I think a lot of us do not even know. One, he took down all the LGBT content from the White House website. So if you've never visited the White House website,
right.
anything having to do with
that was
LGBT,
on the first day.
Yes, on the first day, he actually
day.
took it down. The second was he rescinded protection for transgendered students in restrooms on their for transgender student restrooms in the use of public schools. So in public schools, transgendered students are not allowed to go into the bathroom that they feel that to the sex that they identify with.
Right.
So that was another thing that he took down. Then he revoked the protection for LGBT workers against discrimination in hiring and employment. A lot of y'all don't know that.
Yep. So
and y'all thought that
y'all were safe.
Y'all thought that y'all were safe when it says we do not discriminate against sex, color, creed,
religion.
It does not extend to the LGBT community. So just so you know, and he has made that very clear and apparent that it does not extend to your sexuality. It extends to your sex, gender, race. That is it. It does not, and religion. It does not extend to your sexuality. So be careful
and be aware and be aware work for
and who you up because let's be honest, he made that very clear that law does not protect LGBT community. He also dropped federal lawsuit over North Carolina's prohibition on the LGBT equality. Then he also tweeted that trans people should be banned from the military. Now, these are all things that this president has done against the LGBT community. LGBTQIA community.
Right.
This is not just a black-white thing. This is just not a Muslim, a religious thing. This is not just it's everyone who's non-white.
Oh, baby, this is what I'm about. Even the last time we came on the show, and I said, you know what? Everybody's sitting back, all y'all, religious evangelicals are sitting back. Oh, he's just attacking the LGBT community. We condemn them anyway. And I said, you know what? It's a matter of time before the tables turn and he starts looking at race. And sure enough, here we are. Now we're getting into the race part, and now people are starting to see that. You know what? Yeah, he is an issue. And I said before, you may not be within the LGBTQIA community, but you are not safe when it comes to 45 and the government and climate that we're in. So my thing, instead of you being so concerned with your religion and being like, oh, we condemn them anyway, you might be concerned that the tables will be turned. And sure enough, now the tables are turning. Now it's a matter. I really feel it's a matter of time before all these other rights that protect minorities in the workplace and all those other things will be on the table again as well. Affirmative action, I really feel it's a matter of time before there's an all-out assault on that entity by itself.
Yes and no, and I'll tell you why. Because it's still going to affect white women. So it might not.
They don't care. You're talking about a man that got elected and said, I grabbed whatever by the you know what. They don't care about women. True. That does not matter. They're rather throw them under the bus if it includes minorities, LGBTQIA people as well. Anybody that is not in the top 5-10% of the financial monarchy in this country, they do not care about. And unfortunately, that don't include any of us.
Well,
so that's what I'm saying.
We just need to, at the end of the day, we all need to come together. We need to be aware of the things that are going on within our community and be able to come together. Black, LGBTQIA, Muslims, Asians, everybody. We need to come together because this man is coming for everything.
He already started the action against the equal opportunity for
Yes, we already know that.
And I saw the Cardinal post about the Supreme Court appointment. I absolutely agree. I really feel strategically they're going to make some moves there, and it is going to affect everybody. And it's going to be one of the points where we're like, oh my gosh, too little, too late. And now people are starting to see like, wait a minute, this can go
so many different ways. But it's too late. I was just telling somebody that I feel that this presidency is like The Apprentice, because he stay firing a whole set of people. Every 2 seconds he firing somebody new.
He still didn't have a full cabinet. What president has never had a full cabinet?
By now.
By now.
Listen, we gonna move away away from President 45. This weekend was
Absolutely,
Black Pride in South Carolina.
Yeah, we're going to move away from politics because I get a little heated about that.
Yes, so we're going to move away from politics, but this hear Black Pride here in I was about to say Atlanta.
But you know what? But I'm glad to see that even the climate that we're in, that our community still is striving to advance things that, you know, take us in consideration.
Yeah.
That still are pushing, you know, rights and those type of things for us and protections for us. And we, irregardless of what political climate we're in.
Yes, that is awesome. But
Beatrice, they've been saying their argument, especially when it comes to those Ivy League schools. It started with Harvard actually years ago. There was actually a lawsuit, but I'll talk about that another time.
Girl, yes, that's how Barack Obama actually got into the school.
He was qualified for it, but anyway.
So it was Black Pride here in South Carolina.
Shout out to Black Pride, South Carolina Black Pride, you guys. Yeah.
And we actually did volunteer.
And I'm so tired of y'all. I promise you.
And Majesty
made several appearances.
Majesty made several appearances out here at South Carolina Black Pride. So what we wanted to talk about was, what do you do when you see your mate in a different environment? Okay, so the boo thing knows that I'm Majesty. I'm the sexy femme with the slick mouth. And I do a lot on radio and on my podcast. And even now here in She Said with her that she'd never seen me at a club appearance.
No,
she'd never seen me at a club appearance.
Never,
I usually do club appearances and shows and whatnot in Philadelphia. So this is actually me getting my feet wet here in Columbia for South Carolina Black Pride.
Right. And there was a welcome reception.
And of course,
we were supposed to just be volunteering at the welcome table. Here, fill out this card. Thank you for coming to Black Pride. Give us some information so we can keep you abreast on the events and happenings of South Carolina Black Pride. That's what I thought. At the information table, let me be the greeter and host. Hey, thank you.
I was a nice greeter and host. But of course now I beat myself a little extra beat that day. And from the moment we walked in, it was like I had people come up to me and thought that I was Faith. And it was like, oh my God, Faith is here. Thank you to all the people who came up to me saying that. I appreciate y'all.
I was going to call top flight security. Y'all got to protect my boo.
Yes, because it was real at the event. It was at Wet Willie's out here in Columbia, and it was awesome. So I wanted to give an announcement just to remind everybody to come to the information table and come.
It started with the announcement.
And sign up and, you know, give us, you know, your information. So for next year, we can keep you abreast to everything that's happening in South Carolina Black Pride. Well, once you put a mic in Majesty's hand,
I thought it was Amy.
It's a wrap. So I stepped into Wet Willie's as Amy, but I quickly turned up into Majesty real fast. And the minister wasn't ready for Majesty.
No.
So
nobody warned me. I thought I was gonna have to break up with her, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, clutch my pearls. I was not ready. There was no warning.
Shout out to Tyler, who was also the other host at Wet Willie's that Friday night. It was awesome. When I tell you, Wet Willie's turned up from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Honey, I had women twerking. We was throwing dollar bills.
Like, I couldn't believe it. Because, I mean, it was nice and chill and subtle. People just grown, just talking. Yeah, thank you for coming.
The turn up was official.
I turned around. I was like, oh, what is going on? And I just sat in the corner like, Lord Jesus, if you get me out of this, I know I'm the only one that said that. If you get me out of this, God, I'll never do it again.
I mean, it was the first time that she had ever seen me completely stripped of everything else and was purely Majesty. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, she's supported me doing radio, but because the radio is FCC regulated, I'm not able to speak the way I want to, and it's not Ngozi at Night. So she's seen me on Ngozi at Night. She's seen me on my own show, but it's also, my own show is on actual radio, so I can't speak and I can't be the sexy femme with the slick mouth on Midweek with your girl Majesty.
She still got a slick mouth, but it's censored.
It's very much censored on Midweek with your girl Majesty. Well, it wasn't censored at Wet Willie's. And for those, I gave everybody the sexy femme with the slick mouth. And I had to catch myself because then I looked over at the minister, and the minister was sitting there just shaking. Shaking her head.
Lord, this not gonna work, Jesus.
And it was so funny because I was like, oh, damn, wait. Wait, she wasn't ready. And she kept telling me, babe, you got to come sit down. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I was like,
what you mean? The tournament is official. I had the mic in my hand, and we was trying to get everybody to come on the dance floor and dancing.
And then my concern was that she was in the way, and I was like, oh my gosh, if she steps on somebody's foot, I know they're gonna punch her on her forehead because she had on heels, and then I'm gonna have to fight, and I'm gonna mess up my witness for the Lord because I gotta fight every night to prove my love for you. And I was like, this is just not gonna end well. God, this is not gonna end well, Lord.
Well, it was the first time that she had actually got to see me in that environment, and I won't lie, I got nervous when we finally left because she wasn't ready. Then I was kind of tipsy too because I had a couple shots of Patron. Oh, listen, it was on the popping. We would for the best twerker, we was giving them shots of Patron and throwing dollar bills and doing all kind of good stuff then. And it was just like, it was fun, but it was a side of me that she never saw. Cardinal, it wasn't that bad, I promise you. It was just, she never saw me in that full-on element. And I think it took her back a little bit.
It did. I'm in prayer. And yeah, Lord God.
And it's like, what do you do when you're in a relationship with someone and now you see them in a whole nother light? Like, you see them in front of their family. You see them in their work environment. You see them in different things. Like, I've seen her preach. And when the very first time I saw her do it, it really took me back because it's like, whoa, wow, okay, so, whoa, this is her in her element. I had to catch myself because I was like, oh, this is my boo thing, and she was giving a word, and I was like, this is kind of sexy, but I shouldn't be looking at the minister sexy. Like, it was different. So I guess I can kind of understand why she was a little taken back, cause, but what do you do? I mean, is it a good or a bad thing, folks? I mean, how would you feel? I mean, then the Saturday, the very next day, what do I do? Somebody canceled at the festival for South Carolina Black Pride, so I was asked to fill in. So Majesty, it was toned down.
Oh, a lot.
It was toned down. It was because it was a family affair.
Okay, I can do that.
So it was a family affair. Shout out to Felicia Norier, who was there with me, who co-hosted, who was the other host, with me at the
Cultural Events Festival.
At the Cultural Events Festival. And it was a fun time. Shout out to Coco Giselle.
Oh yeah, bomb performance.
Bomb performance by Coco Giselle. And it was so much fun. But it was another facet of Majesty.
I don't know. I think for me, and I don't mean, hey Tangie. But anyway, I think for me, one of the things that you have to do is that, you know, with your mate, it's easy for me to know that, like, this is Amy. You know, that's who I date. That's who I'm in love with. That's who I get up with. This is the woman that I plan on making a commitment to, you know, and I've already made that with her personally. But I do understand that for me, and this is just the minister part of me, that I can definitely see how what she does now is going to transform and transcend and change. And absolutely, Carter, you took the words in my mouth. I do think that God is going to get the glory out of what she already does. And I think he equips us already with those skills and things, and we use them in other facets. But when he's ready and when he is time, that it will turn into something much more than what you expected. And I'm a firm believer that ministry can take place in any facet, any anywhere, you know, ministry can take place. I don't care where it's at, because my thing is, doesn't matter what's in you, is going to come out eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah, you may be turning up or whatever at one point in time, but at the same point in time, that there could be a conversation that takes place that night that can lead someone somewhere else. And you're like, hey, this is just the personality and this is the fun side. But what really is my driving force is the God that's in me. And I think for me that it's easier for me to see that, and I'm easier for me to separate. Now, I do believe that there was one point in time in my walk where I probably was not at a point where I could separate the two and actually be okay with it. And I'm also understanding that that's her job. You know, Majesty was here before me. It is her radio personality. That is how you make your money. This is your brand. But at the same point in time, that's not the person that I'm dating.
Yeah.
That's not the person I get. I don't get that person.
Yeah, Crystal,
so,
you see
yeah.
All sides and personalities. And let me tell you, so Saturday happened, and my boo thing switched her hat real fast and went into manager mode. Let me tell you, she handled all the business. I was like, babe handled all the business. I had to worry about nothing. Everything was handled. Contracts was done. And I was like, we work together. And it's just, that was another facet of her that I was able to see. So I think it's kind of cool when you can start to see your mate in different environments. It actually shows you the full potential of your partner. Yeah. And actually
and
what you have. A partnership.
Yeah.
And it should also be something that now you guys can then come home and talk about it. Because trust and believe, we came home and talked about what happened on Friday night.
I just know that I may not necessarily need to be there for those occasions, because I can't take that.
And then it was just like, you know, I will never want to do anything to embarrass my mate. And I will never want to put her in a predicament to where not only does it affect her walk with God, but it affects her ministry or anything for that matter. And I know I have to take those things into consideration, as she does for me as well, where she says, you know, maybe these aren't things I need to be at, because then I don't need to pull away from you. And we balance each other out. At the end of the day, the minister knows that it is just a personality. This is just my job for right now. It's what I do. It's Majesty. We all know Majesty crazy. We all know that I say whatever comes to my crazy head, and it comes out of my mouth more often than not is truth. And it's shady, and it's raw and uncut, but it is who I am.
And Beatrice, I absolutely agree. You know, when you're in a relationship, your job is not to change the person, because if you try to do that, for one, the change is going to be temporary. You know, because you're not their God. You're not God at all. You know, and if a person wants to change, there has to be something that's motivated from them and their relationship that they have with their faith walk. So my thing is, you know, whatever change is going to take place, then it's going to be what it's going to be. My job is to continue to love her just as she is, and to be there and support her. Aww. And to pray with her, and we pray for one another, and we encourage one another as well. So, no, I never want to take away from her being her, period.
I mean, at this point, I think it was an experience for the both of us.
It was fun, though. Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, I was grateful.
Absolutely. You're not your job, and your job is not you.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, she was able to center me, which was a good thing. That she was able to center me and make it okay. You know, when it started to get a little crazy, you know, she was like, all right, I need you over here. When she saw that something didn't look together right, okay, I need you over here. So she actually protected me, which was something good, because when Majesty is on, Majesty is on. I'm not paying attention to a lot of the other stuff that may be, to the little minute things that are going on, because I am Majesty. I'm in that element. And she was so on it with everything else that I'm grateful that I have her to have my back, because then I know that no harm will come to me, because what I don't see, she sees. And she's gonna always reel me back in and reminds me, okay, boo, like she had to get me together real fast and was like, boo, you doing the most right now. I'm gonna need you to. And I was like, but babe, I'm Majesty right now. This ain't Amy. This is Majesty. And
I get that, but
now for you guys watching, how do you do what do you do? Have you ever seen your mate that way? Have you ever looked at your mate and been like,
I wonder if we can call somebody this time.
Has it been something that you then turned around and said, I don't think I can do this, or I can't, I don't want to be with that person because of what they do? Now, don't get me wrong. When we started dating and I realized that she was a minister, I sure did tell her, you do know what I do, right? and it was funny because it was, you got to do it off the iPhone.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
If they don't have an iPhone, we can't do it with them.
But okay, never mind. We'll figure that out later.
We looked at it and it was just like, wow. I told her what I did. She got to see a couple of my shows. She got to listen to my show. I think the one you saw was Ngozi at Night, where I am just totally all the way to the left. And I was like, do you think you can handle that? Oh, that's just your job. It has nothing to do with it.
That's your job.
But, knowing that she was a minister, I had to take a moment and make sure that what I did not hinder her. As much as we may want to be in a relationship with each other, I also never wanted to take away from her. She never wanted to take away from me. So,
Hey, Shatima.
yes, and we was okay.
She was saying that Beatrice said her former fiance could not take it, but now she's doing it by herself, and that's absolutely true. Some people just not going to be able to make that journey with you, and you have to be real with one another, and be okay with be yourself, so the other person can see that as well and can know, hey, this is something that I can do or not do. And I know that my minister. I know, Kaylee, I'm praying for you too, girl.
My minister can't come for the turn up. My minister said no.
I'll be there for the turn down.
Yes, for the turn down. My minister will be there for the turn up. Oh, my baby wasn't ready. She was like,
and then it was hot. Look, that's another thing I want to talk about. Okay, look, y'all be having these events and places and stuff, and we are in South Carolina. It is 100 degrees on most days. You can't have your event in a venue that don't have working AC. I don't know about anybody else, but I hate getting dressed up and going to a place looking good, smelling good, and I'm funky. I ain't danced, I ain't did nothing, but because I sitting there sweating all that time.
What did Crystal say? Crystal said,
I think in a relationship. Crystal said, I think in relationships, you are constantly learning each other. You will always learn new things about each other throughout the relationship because you each will grow together as well as separately.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you have to give your mate that opportunity to kind of spread out and be different.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it is a beautiful thing when you can see your mate in a whole nother light. That's another turn on, because you be like, oh, that's all mine and that come home with me. Like, yes. And what was funny was that night at Wet Willie's, I was like, and I shouted out my book. I was like, I go home with my book line.
Hey, guys.
And it was funny because she's just sitting there going like this, like, oh, Father. I wasn't ready.
I was just trying to melt into the water. And disappear. And I'm a big girl. But I was trying to disappear. Y'all don't see me. Y'all don't see me. I promise you.
And it was
blink myself back home.
And it was too funny because DJ tried to flirt with me on the low. And I was like, moving around along swiftly and professionally. Right, mind you, I'm looking directly at the minister like, and she's just like, try it if you want to. And I was like,
walk home.
I was about to say, you know what, let me just get my life together. And be like, moving on swiftly and professionally. But
that comes with the territory. And I know that other people have had to deal with that in their workplaces too. She tried to go into the yes, I was trying to go to second place. I was trying to go there in my prayer closet. I was trying to create it there, right there with Willie's, and disappear. But I mean, and you know what? Even just in that perspective, but I know there's other things that happen at other people's workplaces where you have, a workplace personality versus your home personality, and people have workplace booze. And they had a home booze or whatever, and having to balance those type of different relationships, and seeing your mate in a different environment in life, and whatever the arena that they're in can be challenging.
Yes, it is. Hey, Cassandra, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
So Our next topic, moving right along, swiftly and professionally.
I think this is the last one.
Yeah, this is our last one. We had, so me and Boo Thing was having a conversation, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
we talk about, in case y'all don't know, we talk about a lot of stuff.
We talk about a lot. So we were having a conversation because we were
Shout outs to our mountain peers.
Yes.
Man, that was awesome.
That
in
was
the mountains
awesome.
of Georgia. We had a good conversation with another couple.
We had a conversation with another couple because we were talking about, my transition to South Carolina and jobs and things of that nature. So the topic came up, well, what would you do,
Say it how you said it, though. Don't try to dress it
romance without finance. Okay? Are you passing up a potential mate because of physical or financial hang-ups?
What's up, Surreal? Hey, Tiffany.
So we were more talking about the financial hang-ups. Now, could you date somebody who worked at McDonald's?
Flipping the fries, not the manager, the fry person at McDonald's.
No, wait. When we first said it, we didn't say the fry person.
No, yes we did.
No, because no
clarification.
shade. I dated someone who worked at Wendy's, but they were the manager of the Wendy's. That was back in my young days, child. That was in my 20s. She worked as a manager at Wendy's.
But that's not a bad thing. Now, if you're a manager, okay, that's fine because you're getting a salary. I already know that minimum you're making at least $40,000 a year. You have potential to own your own business as well. They will possibly send you to the whatever university school they have to create. I'm for real, like for real. Like, okay, that's one thing. But if you are on Terrell, I'm talking about someone on the fry station. I just turned 40. What in the world do I look like dating somebody that's on a fry station? Now, y'all call me bougie. Y'all can say that, you know what, you are being selfish, self-centered, whatever you have, whatever you want to say. Call me what you want to say. But I'm going to tell the truth. No. No.
See, this is what I was saying. A couple of my mates have been blue-collar workers. I mean, I dated someone who was a manager at Wendy's. I dated someone who drove for the MTA in New York City.
Hold on. Crystal, I get that Michelle dated Barack when they didn't have nothing, but they both didn't have nothing. She ain't about to date Barack as older, senior as she is now, and he still ain't have
Don't
nothing.
you be calling Michelle senior.
No, I'm saying they're older now. And yeah, you're okay. So hold on. Tiffany says I'm a banker and I'm all about the credit and finances conversation prior to. Thank you. She said prior to the first date.
Damn.
She wants to know about credit and finance. That's what I'm saying. Like at this point in my life, we need to be talking about 401ks, Roth accounts, what type of retirement you.
Let me tell you, my baby start talking 401ks at 6
I'm like, no, we not just talking like what do you already have in place, because you can't sit at my table if you're not bringing the same things that I'm at least bringing. Okay. We at least gotta be. Well, that's not being equally yoked. Now y'all taking equally.
Wait, is the Cardinal still on here? Cardinal. Now I need the Cardinal to come on here because see, the minister has said that don't mean that we equally yoked. I think that was Jesus.
I love it, Tiffany. Potential for your 20s. Amen. Amen. Yes.
Where is the Cardinal? The Cardinal. There you go, Cardinal. Cardinal. Was Jesus talking about equally yoked when he meant to your finances?
He meant everything. My thing is, we can pray together. That's fine and all. But we need to be moving the same direction when it comes to everything else. That includes finances, how we're raising the kids, where we're living at, our beliefs, our ethics, our morals, our values. When talking
see what the Cardinal said.
She's gonna comment. She don't agree with me.
She said,
"Well, my wife is retired with me. She don't need to work, but that's just me." Right? But she's retired with you. She just ain't starting out flipping burgers at Burger King right now.
He said, "Don't take a bacon
bag with you." Amen. Boom.
Okay, now my whole thing was, what happens if they all working at the fry station, but they trying to get their degree? They have a business plan that they trying to get together.
I need to be your mentor, not your boo thing. Okay. I need to just be your mentor.
Really?
You can help bounce your business ideas off of me, but we can't be together romantically. Hey, Carmen, I sent you a text, girl. Anyway, no.
Listen, I feel like this. I always look at a person. Well, this is just me, you know. When I look at someone, the first thing I'm looking at is not their job as much as, are you a good person? Because you can have very successful people that are sucky You know, they can be successful in business, but suck in personality, suck in who they are as a person. And you don't want nobody to be sucky. Let me tell you, I would rather date a garbage worker who treats me like a queen than for me to be dating the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company and you treat me like crap. What are you laughing at?
These comments. Y'all are killing me.
What they say?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Carla said, "Look, listen, she got something to say." And Tiffany said, "Relationship without finance is a nuisance." Terrell laughed and said, "Yes, mentor." Cassandra said, "What if y'all moving in the same direction but working with these?" Moving in the same direction is one thing. That's fine. But if you're not, you're not. And Carla says her wife could work at McDonald's. That's fine. That's okay.
Hey, light skin.
Tiffany said she's not raising no more women. Amen. Crystal said we all may be one paycheck away from working at Fry's at McDonald's in this economy. So don't knock it. Like I said, they dream maybe to own a franchise. And you know what? I understand that, Crystal. That's true. Cassandra said so true. And Anna said I needed to be loved for real. That's true. And she said, say it again. I can agree with that. Like, I understand something to you, but I'm sorry, we can't. Potential and motivation.
Oh my God. Okay, no, let's go.
Trying to do this. Don't pay no bills.
Okay, but if you met someone who didn't have a college degree, could you date them?
Yes.
Oh, you would.
It's not about your educational level. My thing is, we at least need to be on the same level. You don't have to have a college degree to be productive, to be doing something, to be moving forward.
Okay,
you know, that's not what it's about. I just simply said that I cannot be with someone that is flipping fries at McDonald's. I just can't. What are we going to? I can't.
They probably, because they don't say what we're going to talk about, because they probably got in-depth thoughts.
They may do, and those thoughts may be great, but I have wonderful friends, and we can have in-depth thoughts too. What am I going to do with you as far as a relationship? Like, that's a lot of work.
What you mean?
I'm trying to have some babies. How are we gonna pay for these diapers? You know, I'm working at USC full time. I'm teaching, going to ministry full time. Like, how? For me, that's just me. Do you?
Fries don't pay enough bills. That's right, Beatrice. Listen, I feel like this. If they have a hustle and a drive and an ambition that they're actually making traction to go somewhere and do something, then maybe I could ride with you for a little bit.
But you have to have a time limit.
But you don't have to have a time limit.
Right. Don't listen to the hype. They got maybe 3 months, max 6 months. If they ain't moving into some type of management position, you ain't trying to go to school or do something, she know good and well that she ain't gonna be, yeah.
I'm gonna give her an opportunity. Listen, I dated somebody who worked at Wendy's.
How old were you?
I was 20.
Right. How old are you now?
I was 20. I was 27,
20s. You got time to make those mistakes and grow and do whatever. 20s. I'm 40. We ain't got time like that. No, we not doing that.
Was I 27? I lied.
You probably was younger.
No,
Tiffany said, trust me, financial differences cause a lot of headache. One person feeling some kind of way because they make more, or you feeling some kind of way because they can't contribute. It's just hard. You know what? That's true. You know, and it's not even for me. It's not even if we don't make the same amount. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you don't have to be making the same exact dollar amount. But I just want you at least on my same level. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, professionally wise. You don't have to be in the same arena. Whatever arena you're in, but at least be on the same level professionally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
But baby, if they worked at the Rosses and if they worked at the Bon, well, y'all don't know what Bonton is down here, but they worked at the Belk, and they was
as a what?
As an associate at the Belk. Yo, that's 25% discount off that Belk.
I don't need Belk. Belk don't pay light. Belk don't pay cable. Belk don't pay insurance. Belk don't pay car insurance. Belk don't pay no mortgage. Belk don't pay no student loans. No.
Okay, so now what happens if your mate loses their job and they're temporarily unemployed and how long would you give your mate, let's say their industry is not as productive as it was before, because things happen. I mean, people get divorced over financial situations nowadays.
That's one of the number one, finances is one of the number one leading causes of divorces, as well as cheating.
And cheating, of course.
Finances is
But,
huge.
I mean, I wouldn't just dust my mate off because, I mean, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't dust my maid off, but hopefully during that time, you've all become, you know what I'm saying, close enough in one where like, okay, baby, we are in this situation together. So now how we going to handle it? And see, that's a different type of conversation, because if you're my mate and we're married, it is a we thing now.
Yes, it is.
So whether you lose your job or not, that's we here. We are here. But if I'm just dating you, that's a different thing. You said, would you date somebody? No, I'm not dating somebody like that. No.
This the bougie side of the boo thing that y'all don't get to see. Well, some of y'all do, but see, I'm not that way. I mean, I look at things and I say, you know, I'm willing to try. You know, maybe we could find a way to get some things done.
So you mean to tell me, if you was team single right now and you met somebody that just rolled up on you, just all of a sudden rolled up on you, and you got to you just started conversing with them, not even just date one, just maybe text or whatever, and they told you they worked at McDonald's flipping fries. I really want you to be honest. That was how the conversation started. Now we've kind of stayed away from that, but you just at this point, I want all of y'all think. Now y'all need to be honest out there. I'm telling you, it's too close to Sunday. Y'all stop acting like y'all holding it now. Y'all better stop. Be honest. If someone rolled up on you right now, you a team single, not with your boo, you not married, none of that stuff. Cardinal, you not with the wife, nothing like that. Right now, someone rolled up on you. The first conversation y'all had, you talk about, oh, where you work at, and they tell you, well, I work at McDonald's. I work the fry station. What? Come on. What would your next response be? Don't act, no, y'all don't. Come on, y'all.
My next
real people.
My next response would be,
thank you for being honest, Shanika.
My next response would be,
Terrell, you just.
My next response, Terrell, yes, hopeless romantic. My response would be this. Do you have aspirations?
Her response would be like, well, it was nice talking to you. I got to go.
Wait a minute.
You would ask God, yeah. You know what, Bishop? I don't even think I would need to ask, because Lord, he know.
Listen, I'm an equal opportunity dater.
God said, can you bring me some fries? And they better be hot. At least they can bring you some hot fries if they're working there.
Listen, listen, real talk leads to straight understanding.
Exactly.
And I would have to ask. No, are you having?
Lying right now.
No, this would be my response. Okay, how long have you been working at this fry station? Is this something just temporary? Is that your second job? Do you have plans for something better? Now, if they tell me they ain't got no plans for nothing better, then deuces. But if you tell me I'm in between jobs right now, I work in this field, I'm doing this, then
and you know what? That's what we said.
With you
that's what we said. Like it had to be a reason. Like there had to be a reason why. You know what? I just lost my job and I need to find something real quick. I can respect that, because for me that means, okay, what, you willing to do whatever you have to do. That says something different. But the fact that no, I'm not in between jobs. I've been working there for 5 or 6 years.
And you ain't manager yet, then me and you got some discussions.
No, there's no discussions we need to have. Because all the mentoring in the world ain't going to help you.
But you talking about mentoring folks. I ain't trying to mentor. If I'm looking at you as somebody that I need to mentor, then you are not a potential boo thing, honey. Go sit down somewhere.
Right.
Listen, I'm very particular about certain things. I tried to date outside the box once, and that went horribly wrong.
Somebody asked them, will it be okay for that person to give their 10% at church? I'm just saying, that's a whole nother conversation. For one, I don't believe in tithe and offerings because there aren't any Levites left. Nor do I know of anybody that has that's raising any agricultural products that's going to be willing to give me their produce or their farm animals. So I don't prescribe to telling people that they have to give a tithe. I mean, if you feel like you need to, then that's something that you need to do for yourself. But yeah, no, that's. I just wanted to chime that. Somebody had a question about the tithe and offering. No. I
mean, listen. The minister is. If y'all got questions.
Yeah, you can be in my inbox if you need another more explanation, but that's about it. Yeah.
But yeah, And physical hang-ups.
Hey, Cynthia.
How about physical hang-ups? Hey, Cynthia, how about physical hang-ups? Like, okay, I can't date. Let me tell you something. I love my chocolate. If you look like Drake, you need not apply here. Your light-skinned tendencies cannot come here. So that is a physical attribute that I won't do. I dated one light-skinned person, and that was enough for me. My exes are all nice and chocolatey. I like my chocolate, you know, especially my sex.
Okay,
chocolate.
baby, they get the point. They get the point. They get the point.
So
y'all,
physical attributes. Like some people say that they won't date someone that's overweight.
Big girls.
Big girls. BBWs. Shout out to the BBWs because I met some beautiful BBWs that are gorgeous and are doing the damn thing. Now, if you are BBW and you just sloppy with it, then let's talk about your appearance. Then maybe.
But you know, I think there's a difference between preference and you really like
a hang up.
Yeah, hang up. You know, because I think people have preferences all the time, but it's different when someone has a hang up and allows that hang up to really interfere with getting to know a wonderful person.
Well, I'm about to say something, and it's probably going to show my age. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Boomerang with Eddie Murphy, and he would not date women who did not have pretty. Yes, Eddie Murphy would not date a woman if she had ugly feet. If her feet were not pretty, that was just a no.
Yes, Cass.
And that to me is like shallow. Like, why would you not date a person because they had ugly feet? Baby, take them to the nail salon and get them a pedicure.
Now, some people's feet need more than just that pedicure. You need to go to a podiatrist. Because mingling and whatever salon you go to, they're not going to help you. That.
No, but I mean, I think that, especially for us in the LGBT community, it seems like not even because you straight folks people do the full way too.
Yeah,
like
but
a man can walk.
By the gay man community, I hear a lot more that it's hard because a lot of people that they have to be thin to get a mate.
But I mean, I think I've heard about that. But then even like heterosexual, like men can walk around with a pot belly and be all hairy, like Planet of the Apes and whatnot, and women are drawn to that, and are they still have. It's okay for men, and even some of you masculine-centered women be walking around looking a full mess.
That's a whole nother conversation.
And be getting
just because you masculine-centered don't mean you don't need to shave your armpits. That you shouldn't manscape, womanscape, whatever you want to call it. Take care of your body. I don't care what your center is, masculine, feminine, or otherwise. There's just a thing called hygiene.
I should not see the crack of your ass from your pants.
Oh, Jesus, baby.
I can't. That is such a disgrace. If I ever see a woman, listen, if I could see all of it, my baby call it a face with no eyes. If I see any of that, I would be upset. Because I'm going to be like, why? Why are you offending me so bad? Like, it's not, I think that there are so many biases when we're looking for potential mates. Like, they need to make a certain amount of money. Yeah. They need to drive a certain type of car. Let me explain something to you. If you're looking for a mate, okay, I think that we need to do away with lists. I know a lot of the times we have these expectations in these standards in mates that we want so bad, but they be so high that we actually don't meet them. No, there are some people who have standards that they themselves do not meet. That's like, true. For me personally, I'm not looking at the type of car you drive because that can change. I do need you to be clean.
Amen. Open your minds while closing their own. I absolutely agree.
I need you to be clean. I need you to have a job. I need you to have some sort of ambition, some sort of a hustle.
Now they gotta have a job. Whatever.
They gotta have. I can't date nobody who ain't got no job. Like, boo, where you taking me? You really gonna take me to
McDonald's for those hot French fries?
You really gonna take me to McDonald's, or you gonna take me to Rush's? Shout out to Rush's. I had my first Rush's burger over the weekend. It was good too. But what you gonna take me to Rush's through the drive-thru?
Yeah.
Like,
but there's a difference between being shallow and having preferences, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, my thing is, I don't have a problem with someone having a list. I mean, have your list or whatever, because I don't know I didn't inspire your list. So whatever list you have, what your reasons are your reasons.
I mean, I was told before I met the minister, I was told by my bruh Erica Winston and Ronnie that I needed to date a shepherd. And it was funny because it was like a couple days before we had actually met, and I was running off of my list, and my bro was like, sis, you need a shepherd. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what you asking for is Jesus. And you can't have Jesus. So because you can't have Jesus, we need to find you a shepherd. And I laughed because I was like, well, I guess I ain't gonna date nobody because I don't know where I'm gonna find a shepherd in 2015. Where I'm gonna find this person at? And then lo and behold, 2016. Yeah. Then lo and behold, who showed up? The shepherd. I'm sitting over there, I was like, bro, you will never believe who I'm talking to. I'm actually entertaining a minister. It was like, look at God. I was like, see, I was done. I was done. Like, here came the shepherd. But I think that, and she marked off some things on my list that I thought that I had to have. But then she also presented me with a whole set of other things that I didn't know I needed. And I think that a lot of times people get so caught up on the list that you pass up really good people because of your own hangups. And that's where the whole job situation came about, that conversation, and just physical hangups. Yeah, she may be a big girl, but, you know, can you look past that? Can we, I mean, I'm not into changing people, but I mean, you guys can do things together to maybe change that and change your eating habits, do exercises together. I mean, you're not going to go into the relationship trying to get her to be skinny or get him to be skinny, but if that's a small thing on a bigger scale, then that's something that you can address later. At least in my opinion, look for somebody who's going to add value to you, not take away from you. Look for somebody that's going to basically pour into you and show you the love and attention that you want from a mate.
Exactly.
And be an asset. And then, like the minister said, you sit at the table and the both of y'all have something to bring forth. Not, I mean, some of you chicks be trying to go for people that are out of your league, and then you get mad. Yes, I know it was shady, but I'm speaking truth. You go for people that are out of your league, and then get mad when you realize that the person that you are trying to be with is not the person you are. Exactly, it wasn't the person you were meant to be with anyway. That's why I don't date.
You fell in love with an image.
Yes, that's why. That's why I don't date light skinned ones, because I ain't got time for your Drake feelings. I'm light skinned enough. Listen.
Yes, I thought I wanted a dark skinned woman. I actually took her out to the sun when we first got together. Baby, let's go sit in the sun for a little bit.
Baby. She took me out and told me I needed to get some sun. Like, who? And then made me sit outside. It was for a while. I was sweating surfaces on my body that I didn't even know I had. She was trying to make me dark skin for real. And I'm like, baby, I'm not going to get no darker. This is it. This is just candy.
I had to check, though. I had to make sure. No, it ain't gonna happen.
And we sat out there for a good little minute, and then I'm like, really? She's like, we gotta get some vitamin D in your skin. I was like, why? Like, what? I'm trying to. I was like, you really want me to be dark skinned, girl? Like,
y'all pray for me.
Like, I didn't know. I was like, I can't get no darker. Like, it just is what it is. I'm just a sugar cookie, like she calls me. This is it.
Beatrice, I absolutely understand. Like, they were always dark skinned, or, you know, I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I don't know. She need to get her life together. I was like, I know you accustomed to, maybe you've seen some Dominicans that are darker than me, but I mean, I'm not one of them.
Tiff, you can go back and watch it. We're going to post it, so yes.
I mean.
I know Carmen, you making a huge sacrifice. She turned into a vegan. She's over there eating meatless meals. Carmen don't get no meat no more.
Carmen, I gotta make
shout outs to the married couple.
Yes, shout out to the married
couple.
Carmen, I'll make you some Rice Krispie treat, girl. You come over and get some.
Right.
But yeah, people, let go of your list. Follow your heart.
Some of the things in your list, but if you're gonna let go of your list, I will say, let God be your driving force. Okay.
Love is colorblind. Yes, love is colorblind. I mean, though I know that the black-white dating thing can raise some things up, you know. I know all of y'all think this. You know the white girl who date the black guy. What would you give to be just a fly on the wall when he leave the house and she done brought him home for the first time? Don't you want to know what they talking about? I know I do. I just want to listen.
You're so petty.
No, I know I am petty, but I want to hear it. Like, oh, he's nice. Like, and you know, I'm telling y'all know, and y'all know us minorities. No tea, no shade. If you are a black woman bringing a white man to the picnic, you know that they gonna be like,
they're gonna be in the kitchen having a conversation.
All
before they even leave.
All the elders is gonna be in the kitchen talking about where they do that at. How that happened. And asking,
hey, cuz,
what you bringing this thing here? Or if it's a black guy bringing a white girl to the barbecue, don't let her make the potato salad. You know that's gonna be the first thing they say. No tea, no shade. Because I know if it's us, Spanish folks, shout outs to all my Dominican, she can't make that rice.
Right.
She said she made what? She made arroz con qué? What? No, we don't want it from her. No, stick to what you know, boo. Stick to what you know.
Right.
We don't want what you attempting to make from our culture. So, like, we can't.
All right.
But that is our episode of She Said, She Said. Thank you guys for laughing. Thank you guys for your participation. Thank you guys for coming on and laughing with us. Don't forget, get rid of your list. Stop keeping your list and date the boo thing that flipped the fries at McDonald's. Give them an opportunity. They may have a 401k. You know, McDonald's is probably meeting a 401k.
The lies you tell. If you get rid of your list, let God lead you first. If you're gonna date somebody that may not seem to equally yoked, get a backstory first. And yes, pray about it. Pray about it.
And don't forget, if you see your mate in a different environment, you know, find something sexy about it. Like, I see my boo sexy when she got a tab on, and she be with the Bible ministering to folks. That's sexy.
Cardinal, I got some good news for you too.
So
Atlanta.
So it's a good thing, you know, for you to see your mate in different environments. Shout outs to everybody who watched this episode of She Said, who shared, who subscribed and liked our She Said page and joined our group.
Don't forget to join the group as well. We put more stuff out there.
Yes, look up She Said. Hello, Melissa. Again, thank you everybody for supporting us in this endeavor. For me to, you know, just show off my boo thing and let folks see a side of her that they actually didn't know really existed.
So at the end of the video, we'll be posting more information on our Twitter page, our Instagram page, and our Facebook page. So that way, if you're not in those groups or you haven't connected with us on those social media aspects, you are more than welcome to. Make sure you tune in to me. I actually do a Chaplain's Corner on Monday at about 12:15. I am taking a short hiatus, but I still will be posting a video probably tomorrow, just some stuff I've already recorded. So if you need a word or you just want to hear something inspiring or encouraging, please tune in on Mondays at 12:15 on my live Chaplain's Corner. Yes, and don't forget, I also took a hiatus from Midweek with Your Girl Majesty, but I will be back to give you all of my craziness on Midweek with Your Girl Majesty, so stay tuned for that. Also, you can also catch me in my little royal messages every now and again that I do. So I'll be posting a couple of those in the next week or so. I got to get back on it. I've been, you know, in a little bit of a vacay trying to make this transition with the booth thing. Yes.
And ain't she excited? So make sure that you just look out for us. And again, thank you guys for watching and for sharing. Appreciate your comments and sharing. Yeah, so we will see you next month with another thing. Oh, we didn't talk about Usher and his herpes infection.
That's old news.
These are my infections.
Okay. Anyway, we love y'all, but God loves you best. All right, take care.
Bye.